Assalamu alaikum everyone, I'm Kishwar Zubair and today I'm gonna talk about Aunn Zara, which is a romantic comedy family drama from Pakistan, and it is inspired from an Urdu novella Hisaar-e-Mohabbat, which means Fort of Love in English, both of which are written by Faiza Iftikhar. I first watched it on TV in 2014 when it was released in India, but when I learned that it is adapted from a book, I was a bit skeptical because my last experience of reading a novella that inspired a TV series didn't go that well. So I was prepared to get disappointed, but unexpectedly this book surprised me. I will talk about both this novella and the TV series in detail and the differences between both of them. So of course there will be spoilers. Now let's get started. The story is about a young guy named Aunn who is the only male child in his family. He's the only child of his parents, which makes him iklota beta, iklota pota, iklota nawasa, iklota bhanja, iklota bhatija, iklota bhai, etc. etc. His family is obsessed with him. He's loved, cared and pampered a bit too much. And Aunn is sick of it. He's not spoiled but is annoyed and irritated by his overprotective and overbearing family members. He complains about it to his only friend Manzar, who suggests him to get married and have kids so that his family's attention gets diverted towards them. And all the problems that Aunn faced to kickstart this silly plan of his and how it creates another problem for him and then another is all this novella and series about. I couldn't find much about this book online, but I came across this review on Goodreads and it's the only review that I could find on the internet, and through that I learned that this book was originally published in a digest as a series of novellas under the same title Hisaar-e-Mohabbat, and each part describes one phase of the life of the lead characters Aunn and Zara. According to her, each part can be read on its own, and I've listened to its first book and I couldn't find any other anywhere, and I don't think I need or want to, so we're good. The TV show is only loosely inspired from this novella. The plot is similar but there are many differences between them, and because I haven't read the other books in this series, so I'll just compare this drama with only the first book that I've read or listened to. The very first difference was the portrayal of Aunn and Zara's families. In the TV series, Aunn was the only man in his family. He lived with his dadi, mummy, puppo and her daughters. His father left him and his family when he was little. He lived abroad and only sent them money. He had an uncle who lived in village with his wife and only visits once in a while. But in the novella, Aunn was the only male child. He had a big family. His father lived with him. One of his chacha and chachi lived there too with their 4 daughters. Another one lived in a village with his wife and twin daughters. His puppo used to visit their house every now and then with her kids. So his house was very vibrant in the book. In the same way, Zara was the middle child in 7 siblings in the novella, and just like any other middle child, she craved for love and attention. But in the series, Zara was the only daughter and granddaughter and was as pampered as Aunn. But because she had never lived with women before, she enjoyed being at Aunn's house. However, in the novella, most of these characters were not well developed and were only slightly mentioned. They were not actually present or had much to do with the story, including the female lead Zara, who only appears towards the end and was described totally differently, while the TV series had fewer but well-developed characters and I loved them all. Another difference was the banter and love story of Aunn and Zara. In the TV series, they both had a misunderstanding which continues even after their marriage, but then they eventually fall in love. Usman Khalid Butt and Maya Ali are one of my favorite on-screen couple. They have a great chemistry and I find them really cute. But there was no such story in the book. There was no romance or anything. There was not even a single dialogue, let alone scenes between the 2 lead characters. The novella ends with Aunn feeling neglected and alone after being married to Zara, and he wouldn't get to spend much time with her because of his family. While the TV show continues as Aunn tries to get Zara's attention, which leads to misunderstandings in his family until he realizes his mistake and everything gets well. I know everything in this story sounds crazy and it really is, but it still worked. I mean, it's not roll on the floor hilarious, but it's light-hearted, funny and entertaining. I recommend both this book and its television adaptation To anyone who's looking for a good light family entertainment, I personally had a great time listening to this audio novella and rewatching this series, and I'll leave all the links in the description box to any of you who may want to check them out. And I'll see you next time with something new, something better. So subscribe to my channel, don't forget to like this video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.